Anthem TV, a free streaming digital community. With a click of a mouse or a tap on your phone, you have instant access to free TV shows, movies on demand, music, pay-per-view events, and so much more. Download Anthem TV on your smartphone, smart TV, or any streaming device and enjoy instant access. Subscribe and download Anthem TV today.
Live from the Texas Cheer Liquors Studios, it's In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Three 300 times we've done this. How about that? Yes. Let's get one of those in. Y'all remember those? Good to have all of you boys up in here. It is In the Building from the Texas Cheer Studios, as Big Balls Pat said, at the Pub Sports Radio locale in Southtown, Texas. The audio disseminator is Jose Bouquet. It is In the Building. Rudy is not here. It is just us. It's me and Bookie today. You're stuck with just me and him.
So today's gonna get weird.
I don't know that it's gonna get. Why would it get weird?
It's typically when we start talking, Mike, it gets weird. Rudy gets uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Your tits come out. Stuff like that happens.
Well, see, that's the thing. He's not here. It may get weird for our viewers.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It won't be weird for us.
No,
it'll be normal for us, but for everyone else, yeah.
And I still don't know why people get so shocked. I think a lot of it's fake shock. Rudy legit gets shocked because he doesn't know you quite well enough. We're going to make do. And the timing stinks because today's the 300th show. Believe me, if he could be here, he would indeed be here. Back mañana will be Rudy J. Today is show 300. We have a lot to get to today. I'm going to roll through the weekend that was the Final Four. We'll talk about shit we did, before the games and between the games and the actual games themselves. But it is our 300th show, so it does mean a lot to us that we got this far. Although I'll give Rudy crap forever now because he's always going to be one show shy of me. Until it's like, well, it's my 300th. It's your 299, No, but it's 300 times we've actually signed on the airwaves, I guess, which is not the right word, of Love You Hard TV. 300 freaking times, man. Pretty cool. And here we are, still rolling, still kicking ass, and still in many ways, I feel like we're still getting started. So please help us keep rolling. Let's get 300 more of these things in, shall we? You have to do, and how you do that is he and I continue to do kick-ass shows every day. Today it's going to have to just be the two of us. But how you do your part in getting this show to a 600th show one of these days is we ask you to like it. If you're an old man like me, shit, I didn't know that likes meant so much. I found out only recently did I find out that the more likes you have, the more you show up in the algorithm. So like this thing. Comment on this thing. You can donate to this thing, which we'd love you very hard if you do that. via the super chat. If you have something to say into the chat, please feel free to give your takes. But you are always welcomed to jump in with a super chat donation to keep this thing afloat. You can also buy us coffees, which Bouquet has already linked.
Look at us.
Buy me a coffee link. So hopefully money will roll in because it's our 300th show and you love us. Subscriptions are absolutely free. So subscribe and like and share this thing. All right. On Love You Hard TV. And of course, our partners at Anthem TV and the audio version of this show that gets put out there into the interwebs each and every day on Spotify and iHeart and Apple and all the other things that matter. And you can also become a member of this show if you want to as well. Memberships in which you get all the exclusive members only content. It's $6 a month. This was bought for me today. This coffee here. You know what this thing costs? It's a grande.
$7.
Oh, about $5.50. So ostensibly, for the cost of this effing Starbucks coffee,
Wow.
you get a full month's of exclusive members only material from in the building. And today at 4 p.m., I've been told, at 4 p.m., we're going to drop a video from members only. It is a video that has been basically, what is it? What would you call it? A synopsis, a wrap up of the weekend that was?
I would call it a video of you guys doing man on the streets and interviewing strangers, going up to strangers. Rudy
Okay.
J haggling old Auburn fans
Mhm.
with his very large voice that
Mhm.
sometimes intimidates people.
Right. Some of those Southerners from Auburn they tensed up when Big Rudy showed up and started talking to him, didn't they?
Yeah, they heard a roll and they were looking ready to fight, and then they saw it was Rudy. They were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. No, it was great. He didn't give a damn either. Rudy, you notice that? He just went up to people.
Yeah, that was the most impressive thing about it.
He was like a freaking carny trying to get you to come pop balloons with darts. He just go up to people. Hey, lady, I like that shirt. Let me talk to you. Come here for a minute. Come here, man. Let me come here. He basically told people to come talk to us.
Yeah,
And it worked. It
did.
worked. It worked.
I can't do that. I'm horrible at talking to strangers, so I commend Rudy for being able to do it. That is
Yeah.
something that's very difficult.
No,
to do.
Rudy has no problem being a man of the people, and he certainly was all day Saturday. So at 4 o'clock today on our members only page, you will get exclusive weekend grab ass featuring In the Building with randos on the streets of San Antonio, Texas for the Final Four. All right, we will do Final Four talk. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, I guess I put this on Twitter and Facebook last night. I teased a major show announcement for today, right? And most people by now, it's almost a Peter cried wolf problem where people have gotten so used to being underwhelmed by my announcements that they don't care. It's kind of like they've become desensitized to it. It's almost like you hear like every day there are new there's a new reason why the tariffs are going to bring our global economy down. And people are just whatevs. They're over it. And my announcements are kind of like that. This one's a great announcement, y'all. This one's a biggie, a big one. And it was cool that it was going to come today because today's our 300th show. But with my man not here today, we're going to push the major show announcement, Jose, to tomorrow. So whatever bell or whistle you had for this, and I'm literally scratching it out on my sheet here as I speak, we'll give the major announcement tomorrow. Okay.
What a disappointment.
I know, man.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I'm disappointed too that he's not here. It sucks, but it is what it is. And believe me, he's got a great excuse. He wouldn't be here. He would be here otherwise.
You know, by the way, speaking of Rudy as well, since we're on his topic, I was surprised his knee held up that whole time when we were walking. Just gritted it out. No knee issues for Rudy. Maybe he is faking that torn meniscus.
No, dude, he fought through it because he's a champ.
Yeah,
I think what happens is he doesn't let on the extent of the injury. He just fights through it with beer and I don't know, maybe pills. I don't know, but somehow he's able to get through it all. Yeah, because we did a shit ton of walking. Yeah, a shit ton. Which I want to get to that in my punch here in a minute. Probably going to wind up punching myself, and I'll tell you why when we get to the punch segment in a minute.
That's a tease right there. That's a big league tease.
Yeah, years of radio. I bet most YouTubers don't know how to tease properly. They should get radio guys like old, recovering radio dumbasses that have decided to go on their own and join the 21st century to give tips to some of you kids that y'all have never listened to radio. And I watch a lot of YouTube shows and they don't have any direction. It's just slap dicks sitting around shooting the breeze, which ultimately is great. You got to have some uniformity in your presentation. So there's a tease. But the people I want to punch segment has to do with walking and knees and injuries and pain. All right. But I don't want to not address our 300th show because it is a big deal. When I set out, here we go. Pull up a chair. It's story time with Uncle Mike.
Fuck yeah.
I made the decision early 2023 that I was going to leave iHeart and start my own thing. Now, I didn't plan on quitting when I did because it was probably mid-June, mid to late June is when I wound up leaving iHeart in the summer of 23. And I did not plan on actually leaving iHeart until the end of 23. Things happened that expedited, I'm not sure if that's the right word, sped up, moved it up on the calendar. I wound up making the decision to go ahead and step away from iHeart in the summertime and didn't feel as prepared in the time, but went ahead and made the leap anyway and made hard decisions about former members of our show, which was unfortunate, and trucked along solo with me and LG, who's now also since quit. And
it's your personality, Mike.
Yeah, there's something to say about a guy who can't keep coworkers or wives. Sometimes the common denominator in all of your issues is you. No, that's bullshit. I'm not going to let that. I can joke about that, but decisions that have been made by our little company were made. Now, LG quit. I can't. He quit on his own. I mean, that's on him. Point being, we were a little fledgling boat at sea. The waves were rocky. We were like Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
We just needed to get over the swell, and we did get over the swell. The swell was leaving iHeart, and now here we are with half a fucking porta potty as our sail.
Sure.
On wood and sticks and rope, and the weather was breaking that thing apart. And I was not sure how much longer we could do Mike Taylor Live, starring me and my little Asian cohort in just that form. I wasn't sure how long that was going to go. We were scrambling. And it was late December, early January, right around the turn of the calendar year, in our sweet Lord of Mary 2K and 24, in which a young man named Rudy J made himself available. And there are probably people in town that will go to their graves thinking that that was all a gigantic conspiracy to bring Rudy over, and it was not. That was serendipitous, that whole thing there. And once Rudy agreed to do this, and I made him reassure. I made Rudy look me in the face and tell me he was serious like 7 times before I actually let it happen, because he left a gig, Now, granted, he's now working for a show and what he knew was he was going to go work for a place that, I don't want to speak for him, but I will anyway. He was coming to a place that was going to let him be him. When he went to Alpha, they fucked up by not building that station around him. That station's a bunch of white stiffs that wear Dockers pleated jeans and polo shirts. Sorry. And there's an audience for that. Rudy brought Flavor to that station. And then they immediately start cutting his legs out from underneath him. That's my opinion as a consumer, as a listener of those shows. That's my opinion. I don't think that they ever let Rudy be Rudy. And this thing here allows Rudy to be Rudy because Rudy he's a partner. He's a co-owner. No one tells him what to do. He has free reign. Granted, he's not here today, but he has free reign.
He has the free reign not to be here.
Correct. He has free reign not to be here. And when you're the boss, you could skip work. But let me tell you this: I don't know where we would be had he not come over. I just don't know. I don't. Maybe I'd gone back to radio by now, found another co-host, but it wouldn't have been the same. So I'm so grateful forever that Rudy made the jump and came over. And dude, no bullshit. We have families and we have people that rely on us. We're not like there's a lot of guys that do what we do that don't really have anybody that relies on us. Me and Rudy do. We have kids under 18, and we have taken a hell of a leap. And as I always quote the great Will Rogers quote about the thin fruit, about the thin branch and the sweet fruit. The sweetest fruit is always on the thinnest branch. And if you want the sweet fruit bouquet, you have to have the balls to climb out on the thin branch and risk falling in order to get the sweet fruit. And that's what we're chasing to this day. So that's my thoughts on 300. Our little show is a nascent, ascending thing. And I'm damn proud of what we've done in these 300 shows.
Credentialed in 300 shows.
I didn't see any other podcasters in that entire arena the other night.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm sure there wasn't.
And by the way, and I'm not trying to sit up here and one up all the local podcasts in town, by the way. That's not my goal. Just pointing out a fun fact. And I had to bitch to get our podcast in there, and it worked. But let me do some more quoting. This is a misquote, but it's a paraphrase. A wise man once said something to the effect of, I'm not trying to one up my fellow man. I'm not trying to always be better than my fellow man. And in this case, other broadcasters and podcasters and shows. That's not my goal. When I wake up every day, it's not to be better than the next guy. My goal every day is some more food for thought, Bouquet, for you as a young rising man in our business. Stop trying to beat the next guy. Wake up every day trying to beat you. Be better. Be a better you today than you were yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Fuck the other podcasters. To hell with the other hosts and people that do what we do. You're in competition with yourself. Be a better Bookie today than I was yesterday. That's what we try to emulate in our little company. So that's my meeting today to motivate the employees here.
That's a good meeting.
All one employee. All right. Granted, the guy that said that wound up blowing his head off in the future, but he had a good point.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And by the way, like you said, you're the only employee that 300 episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. It was Ernest Hemingway, by the way, that had that quote about be a better you. I ain't trying to be better than my fellow man. I'm trying to be a better me.
Yeah, he made my high school hell.
Hemingway?
Yeah, his books are hell.
Oh, yeah. He went. It's not shot. I don't think actually did he kill himself? Y'all, did Hemingway kill himself?
Let's give it a Google.
Jeff Slaughter's in here. I beat myself every morning. That's not the same. I don't think we're talking about the same thing right now. Jeez, dude.
I know. I think
Slaughter's shower drains all clogged up for a reason once a month.
Oh man, how did this?
It was die? Hemingway that said it. How does Ernest Hemingway get died? I know he was a raging alcoholic, and I think he was a methamphetamine's head too. I think he died of cirrhosis. I want to say now that I think about it.
Cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah, that's my cause of death guess. I believe it's cirrhosis of the liver.
Well, I can't confirm. Apparently, it is suicide.
Okay, I was right the first time. Shit, that's what I get for not trusting myself. He shot himself, did he not? I think he did. I think he was on a boat outside of Miami somewhere, out in the ocean, and he killed himself.
Yeah, apparently put a shotgun to his head.
There you go. He Kurt Cobained himself. That's always the more exciting one. Only sissies kill themselves with a handgun. It takes a real man to blow his head off with a shotgun.
Yeah, leave no doubt.
Because it takes effort too. You got to hold that thing.
2 arms. Yeah. You kind of, if someone walks in on you, you kind of look ridiculous, you know?
Right, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get caught about to kill yourself with a shotgun. It's like getting caught jerking off with a shower.
Yeah, you're like,
it's embarrassing.
This is awkward.
Yeah, pistol's cool. A pistol's easy.
Yeah, we've seen that.
But when you like Kurt Cobain, because he wasn't very tall. I mean, he did it like in a bunkhouse, like in a treehouse in his backyard in Seattle. He had to here he is in the treehouse. It's not comfortable anyway. It's a fucking treehouse. He has to take his thumb and he's got to hold the trigger and hold the barrel in his mouth. When you go through that much effort to kill yourself, you really, really, really want to kill yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I know, Mike. You'll be happy to know
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. Bam.
you think I should be proud of you that you know that Kurt Cobain was in Nirvana?
Yes, yes, you
No,
should.
fuck
Yes,
that.
yes.
No. No. That's like saying, "Hey, you'll be proud of me. Nolan Ryan used to play for the Rangers." Whoa, what an informed guy you are.
Hey, I try to
How
stay
informed?
up. I try to stay up to date.
Right? Tell me what band Janis Joplin played in, and then I'll be proud of you.
I have no idea who that
Of
is.
course you don't.
Is that a man or a woman?
I'm not saying.
Okay, fair
See,
enough.
that's the
Is
shit
that,
that
is
I'll be
that the
proud of
band? Is Janis Joplin the band? Actually, is this a trick question? I don't know.
you. Again, tell me who Jimi Hendrix's drummer was, and then I'll be proud of you. You don't get credit for, hey, Kurt Cobain played Nirvana.
I don't know
get
who that
credit
is,
for that.
but I did learn like.
Hey,
3
did you know
years
Mickey
ago.
Mantle was a Yankee? Have
Nobody
you
dig it
read
up.
that before, Jose? Have you read that?
No, but Joe DiMaggio got a blowjob in Yankee Stadium.
No,
We
that
talked
was
about
Mickey Mantle.
Oh,
It was
right.
not Joe DiMaggio. Don't put that on Joe DiMaggio.
Sorry, Joe.
I share a birthday with Joe DiMaggio, by the way.
Yeah, I share one with Beyonce. We're about the
Really?
same.
Okay.
Yeah, me and
Yeah,
Beyonce.
Me and Jolton Joe, November the 25th. All right, I quit talking about suicide and got into baseball talk
Sure.
because I didn't want Jay Ribaldo to get mad at me for using suicide as a segue to his live spot. So let's do it now. Did you know that Joe DiMaggio was married to Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah, he wouldn't kill himself with that.
Did you know that he has a hitting streak of 56 games that last to this day?
Sure.
And did you know that he was called Jolton Joe?
Why do you think they would call him Jolton?
Because he was fast.
Oh, I thought it's because he came quickly.
No, and yeah, he was the Yankee Clipper. Do you know where he was from?
No.
He was from San Francisco, California.
Wow, they let a Cali boy go all the way to the Bronx in New York.
Took over the city, Holmes. All right. I think we've now steered out of suicide talk enough to do the live spot. Thank you, Jay Ribaldo. I'm so sorry. Jay will never buy us a meal again. Springtime is nigh upon us. Now, if you're watching this show live, you wouldn't freaking know that springtime was nigh upon us now. I'm so pissed at this freaking winter that will not fucking go away. But springtime is literally, I think it starts back tomorrow. I think we get back to regularly scheduled seasons mañana. And it is the perfect time to buy your dream home. More homes get put on the market in the springtime. Couple of reasons why. The weather's good. People don't want to fight through selling a house in the winter. And because the weather's good, it's sunnier, it's more pleasant, people are in a better mood, and your house looks more presentable. You know, it's easy, especially if you're trying to sell one. You don't want to sell a house in the dead of winter. You want to sell one when the birds are chirping and the grass is green and the flowers are blooming. It makes your house look better. This is when a lot of transactions go down. And also, sellers are very motivated. So if you're looking to buy a home, this is the time to start doing it, because whoever you're buying the house from, these people, they want to move this house before the summertime gets here, because they don't want to fight through selling a home in the dog days of summer. They want to get it out of the way so they can get on with their summer. So this is a great time to get into the housing market. And I can scarcely think of a better person to do it with than our guy, the official real estate man of In the Building. It is Jay Ribaldo. Call him directly at 210-887-1081. You can email him directly if you want to at jribaldo@kw.com. You can also go to his website and look at all of his listings at ribaldo.com. It is ribaldo.com. All right, we have buried the lead long enough. Shall we show the dunk challenge of 2K25?
You know, I'll be honest, that's not where I thought you were going.
Let me set this up here before you play this.
It's a good one.
It requires a drink of coffee because we're about to show an embarrassing moment in my time, in my life. So, and how genius was it that, so we loaded a clip over the weekend of me sailing through the air gracefully with my menudo belly hanging out of my shirt. We have not shown the public. Well, if you follow us on social media, I think you wound up seeing this yesterday, but many of you will be watching this for the first time. All right, so as part of the Fan Fest festivities outside of the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center Saturday was a dunk challenge presented by the Home Depot.
Of course, home of many of our cousins looking for work outside.
Speak for yourself. All my cousins, none of my cousins are working at Home Depot or trying to get picked up anymore. Most of my cousins are dead or in jail. because they're older than you.
Fair.
Although, let me say this, by the way, and if you do plan on going to stand outside of a Home Depot looking for work, get there early. Every
Sure.
morning when I come to the studio, it's about 8 o'clock, or like I actually these days I don't even leave till 9 o'clock, and I'll see 4 or 5 young dudes out there. I'm like, y'all are fucking late. If you want to get a legit job, you get your ass out there at 6:30 and make it look like you're dedicated. Some young buck with his dumbass Abercrombie and Fitch shirt on, standing out there at 9:30 in the morning. Ain't nobody picking your ass up, not for anything major. Anyway,
Tell 'em.
I'm full of advice today. So they had a spring here in which you get a ball, you spring up, and you dunk. Now, I could have just done a boring two-handed flush here,
Definitely could have.
but that's for sissies.
Sure.
Only pussies do the easy one. I decided to go balls out and do I attempted to do a 360. This is how it went on in the building.
You found out.
Mm.
I like how you tested it out just
Got
to make
to.
sure. Ah. Ah.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Dude, you want to assess that? You're a basketball analysis man.
Sure,
person,
sure.
human.
Let's take it, frame by frame.
Dude,
actually.
this is unfortunate. This did not go well at all. None of this went as planned. Okay, I did get the spin in though, right? Almost.
I mean,
Almost.
look at you right
I
here.
mean, look at the gut, baby. Look at that.
Right here, you're feeling good. Like you're
Yeah.
like full. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna dunk this home.
No, okay. It's like not even half a second. Your brain's faster than actual time. So right here, what you're seeing is me thinking, "Oh my God, I've actually jumped high enough to pull this off." But within the go millimeter of a second after that, I'm thinking, "Oh shit, I didn't jump toward the rim far enough." And you see the result here of me having to throw the ball up there like a bitch.
Yeah.
All right, finish it. Oh God, look at that guy.
And then right here is where we're all like, oh my god, there goes his ACLs. There's the ACLs.
Yeah.
And then
Watch
we
the
just
leg
see a
fly up.
foot.
It's just the foot and the fucking Home Depot garbage can mascot guy there.
Just
Look at
looking shocked.
oh,
Just like you just saw a murder.
oh man, look at that. Yeah. Golly. Oh no. Dude.
I really like the throw. Like you thought you were Blake Griffin as well here.
Well, I knew I wasn't going to be able to dunk it, so I just decided I had to do something. I didn't give up on the play is what happened. That was a miracle prayer like Tyrese Proctor's miracle prayer at the end of the Duke fiasco the other night. You throw the ball up there knowing that it's not going to work out for you. So I blame my panza for keeping me down there.
Yeah.
Totally, dude.
Kim Young saying no gut, engage your core.
Dude, that's I know. I've let myself go and I'm not proud of myself at all. But it's all right there. It's like, I don't know if it's turning 50. Everything they say about it all, it's just all kind of amassed right there, And I've got like a baby under my shirt all day. I still have these little, and here's the thing, Jose, I've got to take care of the gut. This is an epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad this happened to me because now I can have the proper epiphany and work on the gut.
Do we need to see it again? Just,
I mean, why not? I mean, my God. I mean, why? We might as well. Just make it just put it on loop on the channel all day long.
I mean, like, again, just
God.
you take the dribble to be sure, then you take the jump, and then
and what am I doing trying this shit in jeans too, by the way? What a jackass. It's me and like 60 other little elementary age kids doing this bit, by the way. And there's my dumbass out there with jeans on. mic'd up like a jackwagon.
Yeah, Kevin Harrison, by the way, mentioning the little double pump here, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I gave it my best effort, dude. The form was rolling at the beginning, and then the fall, not so much.
No, there was no grace in the fall. There was zero grace in the fall.
Well, because I've got this midsection caboose. Oh, my hair looks great.
Yeah, hair looks great. There's no doubt in that. But someone make some shoe brands.
Stop. Hey, look at my Brooks running shoes. What a freaking moron this guy is here.
Brooks needs to hit us up right here because this could be a commercial. This part of the scene right here could be the commercial.
No, dude. There's a spring. Brooks didn't do shit to get me up there. It was all the spring. Golly, that's embarrassing. Good Lord. Oh, shit. This is right. Have no control on anything. At least, even though the dunks failed, I had control. Like, that's like, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm not going to make it to the rim, so I just throw the ball. But it's right after that, when my first foot hits the little tarp underneath, that's when I realized, oh, shit, this whole ship's tipping, and it's beyond the tipping point. There's not a thing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Highly unfortunate. The low point of my year. But I'm going to make lemonade.
We're a quarter of the year away.
I'm making lemonade. So when I moved back home from Hawaii, I weighed 160 pounds. All right. When you met, but me and Nina started doing pickles for dinner, I weighed $160.
I weigh that right now, I think.
I weighed myself this morning because I knew I was going to do this bit. I'm trucking in at 175, bruh. And it is all in the midsection. And here's the thing, I'm not going to carry this weight well. That's why I've got to get rid of it now because I've got these little skinny toothpick arms. If I had like big Popeye arms, I would look proportionate with the belly. But I look like a skinny teenage girl with the big belly because of my little skinny arms and legs. Dude, Operation Lose the Panza commenced today.
Okay.
Telling you right now.
And
it's way harder to do in your 50s, but I'm going to do it because I have the willpower.
Nina?
And I've got the public embarrassment now and the humiliation of the entire world being able to see my shit all over the interwaves. Thank you, Bouquet.
Yeah,
nice
no
job.
problem.
I knew that so when I spun, that's when I realized, oh shit, there's no way I can reach the rim. I'm up Rio de Caca here.
You might as well play it again.
Yeah, we gotta keep on doing. You can.
Might as well. Again, another underrated part about this, Mike. Listen to this noise you make.
Yeah, we gotta keep on doing. You can.
That's the sound of 15 pounds of belly fat falling on your face. So like I got smashed with a pillow.
You were basically getting smothered there.
I should have done this shirtless. It would have been even better. I just did not anticipate it could fail so hard. Oh man. Oh man.
And of course, again, it was always going to be the 360. It was never going to be, just a windmill dunk, two arms. Just was always going to be a 360.
Dude, and I could have done a little tomahawk or something, but that would have been boring. I'm Mike Taylor. I'm not going to just go up there and white guy slam it. I'm going to go up there and try to beat the shit out of that rim. So,
yeah.
Oh, well, you did a good job. And you held it together, too. The camera did not shake. I'm proud of you for not losing your shit. Thank you, man.
Thank you. I'm a professional, as they say.
Highly unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right. I am not athletic. That has been driven home. However, if you have an athletic kid who specifically is into soccer, or is thinking about getting into soccer, we have things for the children. If you have a baby born between 2007 and 2015, and they want to play soccer, might I recommend the best damn youth soccer league in all of San Antonio, Texas, where we're based here within the building. 3 locations scattered out around the city, and they've got placement events coming up in May. What is a placement event? It's not a tryout, it's an evaluation because they don't cut kids. They place you in a league that fits your kid's level, which you think is great. So it's called a placement event. So they can place your kid in the proper level. The girls go on May the 6th through the 8th. The boys' placement events will come down May the 12th through the 14th rather, at San Antonio City Soccer. Contact them or just reach out to me directly. I've got all the numbers and all the names you need to get signed up, or just go to their website, look them up. It's San Antonio City Soccer, the official youth soccer league of In the Building, San Antonio City Soccer. Okay. Once I recovered from the dunk and quickly left so I could get out of the massive people that saw that fail, because I could just feel the eyeballs and I can feel the laughter. Which, by the way, before I say that, why didn't we get video of me making the 3-point shot?
That's coming today.
Okay, because I went up there like a bad MFer.
Yeah.
I made my 3, just saying.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. All right, so we got out of
And
there.
by the way, there's another person on this show that airballed their 3.
I know, and he's not here today to talk about it. Would you rather fail the way I failed or airball a 3 in front of masses of people?
I think I'd rather fail the way you did. Airballing a 3, it has some kind of, just bitch undertone to it. Shout out to our guy Rudy.
All right, it's In the Building. Rudy's not in the building today.
He's not here to defend himself now.
No, we highly anticipate his return mañana. So the matters were at hand. It was time to get serious and head over to the Alamo Dome for what me and Jose deemed the Duke Invitational, as we were so confident the Blue Devils were going to win the championship. We both put our winners out there and picked Duke to win the championship, which many others did too, by the way. I'm kidding. They were highly favored. One thing I know Rudy would be yelling at us for today is because he picked Florida to win the Natty, but we overruled him on our In the Building overall bracket as a show, and we outvoted him 2-1, and we picked Duke.
And that's going to cost us the bracket against the Baseline Bums.
It already has. So congratulations in order to the Baseline Bums, who picked the Cougs to win the whole thing. And we picked Duke. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, at least we had Florida, so we were up.
But can we help it, though? If Duke shit the bed in a historic fashion, that's not our problem.
Yeah.
We picked the right team. They didn't live up to their end of the billing.
Matt Bernard
it's their fault.
Is here saying bigger fail, Mike's dunk or Duke's last 30 seconds.
Oh, Duke.
I would say it's definitely Duke.
Definitely Duke.
Yeah, that's that. I thought when they were up 10, I was telling my buddy I was with, this game's done. Houston's just not going to be able to score with them. Duke's going to suffocate them. This is already over. Like this, there's just no shot. And I looked back and there was a 1-point game with like 10 seconds left, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on?
I sat there stunned even when it was over with. We were in this, so our seats were in the student section of Houston, the Houston, right behind the Cougs, and watching I wish we had some video footage of the juxtaposition of when they were down 14 versus when they took the lead.
Yeah.
On the putback dunk by Tugler on the miss. And they actually took the lead and Duke had to call a timeout. That place, I mean, God dang. The euphoria, it was very cool to be in the midst of all that, right by the band, right behind all the students. So you know where they had Ernie and Chuck and Kenny set up, right to the so if you're watching Ernie, like if Ernie's looking at you on TV, to Ernie's right was the Houston student section. And then right behind the Houston student section was me and Rudy. So I guess if you're looking at Ernie, we were 7 o'clock. We were 7 o'clock to where Ernie's face is. That makes sense?
Yes.
And so we had great seats, great view back there tonight for the Natty. And to ride that roller coaster with those kids was one of the many, many reasons why, and I've said this over and over, and I'll say this forever. And I've been to Super Bowls, World Series, NBA Finals, All-Star games, huge playoff games. I've seen massive performances. I've seen Tiger Woods play golf. I've seen Michael Jordan dunk a basketball in person. Being able to go to the Final Four is far and away my Cowboy playoff games on whatever. The most fun thing I've ever been able to do in this crazy life I've been able to lead doing this job is covering the Final Four and riding the emotional waves of 4 different fan bases. There's nothing like that in all of sport, because in football, you got 2 fan bases. Basketball literally has a scenario where you have 4 different fan bases sectioned off in an arena the size of the Alamo Dome, and it's just it's the most incredible, unique experience to be there and see the experience from the crowd and ride the waves of big shot after big shot, or make or miss or timeout or run or mistake, and the finality of it all. When you have 2 games that are that close as we had on Saturday, and then you have an epic fail that you have by a team that's an overwhelming favorite to win the championship with 3 future NBA players on it. It's just an incredible experience and just so fun to be a fly on that wall. What a great day that was. And man, what an epic shitting of the bed by Duke.
Yeah, all time.
And and people are going to give Cooper Flag shit for missing the shot. When he still had the chance to pull the game out from their butts with the shot. But give that kid Jawan, what's his name, the top defender, number 13 for Houston, all the credit in the world. Cooper Flag had a 27-point night, but he earned every damn bucket he made, because that kid from Houston, his name is Jawan, number 13. What's his last name? Roberts. That guy, and he's built like a brick shit house.
Killeen, Texas.
Just a man out there, and did all he could on Cooper Flag. And by the way, Cooper Flag totally lived up to the billing. Still wouldn't trade him for Wemby, but I understand why Rudy loves him so much. And I've seen him a ton on TV, but to see him in person, and now just basketball, just someone's taught that kid. He's so good in all facets on both ends of the floor. He's 19 years old. He's got multiple All-Stars in his future.
Yeah, he should be a high school senior right now.
Yeah, he is going to be an absolute beast in the NBA for a long time. He had zero help. So I don't want any of y'all to bag on Cooper Flag. If you do, you're wrong. That kid, he led Duke in scoring, rebounds, assists, blocks, every measurable stat he led the team in. I think it's like the 3rd time maybe in the history of the Final Four where one guy literally leads his team in every fucking category. And that goes to show how good he is. And that also goes to show how his team completely shit the bed on him and let him down. They sucked in the last 5 minutes of that game.
Couldn't even inbound the ball.
Can't even inbound the ball, right? That big kid from the Sudan, he's also 19, Muluak.
Malawach, yeah.
Malawach, he's a lottery pick. Not in my fucking lottery. He's
no
a
shot.
Stiff.
He had 0 rebounds.
Yeah, you're 7'2", and you're out there for 21 minutes on the floor, and your ass ain't got one motherfucking rebound.
Minus 20 on the game.
Minus a plus minus of minus 20. That kid's a spare. An absolute spare. No way he makes it in the league.
Did you see the video of the Houston practice drills where they just throw the ball and they just basically just fight for it?
Right. It's basically the purge.
Yeah.
Kelvin Sampson, who turned 70 years old this year, old school, hard ass, but still relates to these kids, has a bit where they take a ball and they just throw it to center court, and everybody, it's like it's best man, go get the ball. And you have to wrestle everybody. It's basically wrestling for a basketball.
Yeah, imagine that.
It's unbelievable.
That game where you grease up a watermelon in a pool, that with a basketball. It's just,
yeah, exactly.
Just nuts.
Yeah, and I'm glad you segued into that, because while this no doubt was an epic fail by Duke, and their fans were just leaving the arena the other night, walking home, it was just a malaise. They just looked like their dog died. But they were stunned to know it. It's like your dog died, but you weren't ready for him to die. Wait a minute, he's only 4. He dropped dead. Why? What? It was just this weird ashen look on everyone's faces. Not even like anger, or even just sadness. It was just like it was a zombie fan base leaving that arena.
Like you just got punched in the stomach and you have no idea what just happened.
Not even, you're dead and don't know it. They were like zombies. It was unbelievable. But while no doubt that was an epic fail that will go down in history, dude, and I'm glad you mentioned the Cougs. we cannot not give them their flowers. I've never seen a team get after it on defense the way they got after Duke on D. That was incredible. And they were number one. They were number one in defense in all major stats anyway going into the game. But still, to go out there and do that against Duke and not get anybody fouled out in the process, and the way they played Team D, and it's basically it's LJ Cryer and his unbelievable ability to make threes in the clutch, and the most tenacious D I've ever seen in person by any college team. It was early 2000s Spurs level for the college level. It was incredible. Duke had way more size, way more skill, and they just junkyard dogged their way. I mean, they're still down 14 with 6 freaking minutes to play.
Yeah. Everyone thinks the game's over.
Right. So it's still a bed shitting by Duke, but credit the Cougs for not giving up 1 second. Not 1 second did you see a hangdog face or an F-bomb being dropped or banging a chair. They just kept doing what they do, and Duke starts shitting the bed, and Houston just kept doing what they do, and just you look up and they've won the damn game, and it was just shocking. So I'm absolutely rooting for them tonight for sure. I don't know that they're going to beat Florida, boy, because Florida is a whole different animal.
Yeah, they handled Auburn.
Right. And by the way, and I don't, this is hindsight to you, but I'm not, I almost tweeted this at the half, so it would be on the record. At the half of the Duke game, I was convinced that it didn't matter. I told Rudy, whoever wins this game is not beating Florida, because I was not impressed by Duke's performance. And Houston's limited on offense. And Florida is not limited in anything.
Yep.
I told Rudy at the half as we went down to get the shitty pizza that they passed out to the media. Yeah, by the way, what was that? They didn't treat us good at all when it came to the papita. Anyway, I told Rudy, Florida's going to beat whoever wins this game. And I apologized to Rudy because I knew that we should have picked Florida to win the championship and not Duke. And it's because of you and me that the baseline bums wind up beating us in our bracket.
By 10 points, probably.
All right, let me say something about Florida, and we'll get out of here. We'll move on. And I'm not one for hyperbole. I don't throw stuff out, without some thought. Not saying I'm right. Whatever brain cells I have, I use them before I make an opinion, whether they're right or wrong. Dude. And I know he's a 5th-year senior. And if he were really, really amazing, he would have been drafted 4 years ago or whatever. But is it possible that Walter Clayton Jr. has developed in college into a future NBA star? Because most if you're a senior in college, the old rule of thumb is, well, if you've already made it to be a senior, you're not going to be a star in the NBA. Walter Clayton Jr. might be the exception. The point guard for the Florida Gators, who won back-to-back state championships when he was in high school in Florida, but didn't get any D1 offers from any schools in Florida. He had a couple of JUCO and minor league level school offers in Florida. He winds up at Iona playing for Rick Pitino before Pitino went to St. John's. Blew up at Iona, leaves for NIL money to go to Florida. Todd Golden becomes the coach at Florida, needed a spearhead to lead his offense. Realized whoever the coaches were before me here at Florida fucked up. We should have offered Walter Clayton Jr. a scholarship already. So Clayton transfers to his home state, becomes a Gator, and the rest has become history. Walter Clayton Jr. is the best Florida Gator basketball player there's ever been. And we talking about Al Horford, Corey Brewer, Matt Bonner. We talking about those back-to-back natty teams. Ain't none of them kids better than Walter Clayton Jr. Walter Clayton Jr. That kid looked like Tony Parker. The way he sliced Auburn's ass apart in winning time. They could literally do nothing against him. Auburn was the better all-around team in the first half. They were tougher. They were covering spots better. They were out-executing Florida, probably out-coaching them. But in the second half, Florida's depth. So what happened was Auburn started getting tired. Florida has so much depth with their big men. They've got like 5 bigs that just run in and out on a rotator. So it's just a bunch of bigs running in and out, and then Walter Clayton Jr. leading all the scoring and leading the thing. And Auburn got tired. That John I. Broom.
Yeah.
What do you have? One bucket in the second half. He was a beast in the first half, and he was a lamb in the second. He didn't do shit because he couldn't. He was out of gas, and everybody Florida ran in and out of there to guard him was a fresh-legged kid. They have too much depth, and they've got the best player in this tournament. And I'm not saying the best future NBA player, but they've got the best current player in the tournament. The MVP of the tournament is going to be Walter Clayton Jr., obviously, if they win tonight. If not, I guess it'll be LJ Cryer. But they wore Auburn's ass down. And I just don't see them crapping the bed the way Duke did. Give me the Gators to win this game tonight, but not like by 15. In a hard fart epic game, I think we're going to see a really good game tonight. And give me the Gators by single digits. I know you got your gambling show coming up. What is the line on the game as we speak when you get a minute? Have you looked at it already this morning?
I'm looking at it right now. It's Florida -1.5. Wow.
Okay. Give me the Gators, but not by a mile. Give me the Gators by like a couple of buckets, 6-7 point game.
By the way, Walter Clayton, NBA mock draft, end of the first round, early second round.
Wow. I mean, that's fine. And Tony Parker was a late first, second round guy value too when he came. I'm not saying it's going to be Tony, but if he gets on the right team and he has another stud with him, can you imagine Walter Clayton and Steph Castle in the Spurs backcourt with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox? I'm down with that. That kid's great, and he's going to be really, really good. I think he's going to be a solid player in the NBA at worst. All right, it's in the building. Rudy's out of the room today. Show brought to you in part by Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of In the Building. We got April sales rolling on here that require – oh, I can see this. If I hold the phone this far back. Here we go. You ready? I'm taking a selfie. April deals are here at Texas Cheer Liquor. Whether you've got 20/20 vision and a flat stomach, or you're an old man and you wear readers and you got a big old panza, we've got Whistling Pig for everybody at Texas Cheer Liquor. Piggyback bourbon, now on sale for just $49.99. Piggyback rye, just $49.99. Snout to tail 10-year. This is some expensive hooch. It's only $89.99 in April at all 7 area Texas Cheer Liquors. Rye, 10 years, also on sale for just $99. It is Whistle Pig whiskey specials. They also have Stella Rosa fruit flavors, lemon, citron, ruby grapefruit, now just $4.99. Stella Rosa fruit flavors, $4.99 at Texas Cheer. Roseville Union Rye single barrel, just $29.99 at all 7 area Texas Cheer Liquors, including the Bernie location. And always make sure when you go in there and buy stuff, you mention In the Building. That is how you get your 5% off at Texas Cheer Liquor. Let's do some punching, shall we? It is time. Let me reset and do the intro the right way. You ready? We're going to do this right for once. It is In the Building on Love You Hard TV.
Now, it's time for People I Want to on In the Building.
Thank you. All right. Dude. Punching myself.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to punch myself, Jose.
Can't wait.
This is where you fire off the punch sound effect.
You don't like any of them, but we'll hit them.
That's the best one. That's the least bad one I've heard all time. You know what? When we get off today, let me record my own punch sound effect. All right, I'm going to do mine. Okay. So Saturday we had a long day. Started off with a very heated debate on our Final Four pregame show we did here with the Baseline Bums, which me and AJ felt like kids while their parents were fighting. Rob and Rudy they were haymakering each other over hoops. It was a long day. I decided we wanted to go to the Fan Fest, and so I had Nina drop me off. My plan was to walk to the Dome, and then after the game, just Uber home. Now, I knew that I was going to have to leave. I was going to have to walk a little ways from the Alamo Dome to get an Uber because Ubers just weren't going to be able to get in there to pick your ass up because everybody's leaving. And so my plan was to walk down, I think it's a Red Roof Inn, I want to say, right there off of I-10, probably about a half a mile from the Dome.
Sure.
So I'm walking out there, and of course, the juxtaposition of the fan bases. with the Coug fans and then the Duke fans. I'm walking out with them. So I walk from the Alamo Dome to, and I want to say the Red Roof Inn over off of I-10 by St. Paul Square, almost a half a mile from the court. And I go to Uber. $65 for an Uber. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. So I decide to walk another half a mile. I walk all the way, and for those that don't live in San Antonio and don't understand our geography, I apologize. So I walk another half a mile from the Alamo Dome. So I'm I'm a good mile, maybe a mile and a half now from the Alamo Dome on Broadway in Brooklyn. You know where that is downtown.
Sure.
And I checked the price of an Uber. It was still $65. And at this point, and by the way, it was super cold after the game. That cold front kicked in. It got real windy. I was just getting wind blown. But I still want to go pay no $65 for no freaking Uber. Long story short, dude, I wind up walking all the way. By the way, Jose don't know shit about San Antonio geography either. Nope. It's unfortunate, even though he's lived here for years.
No, I'm going to keep agreeing with you, though.
You locals will know. I wound up on the corner of Broadway and Grayson. It's probably, 2.5, 3 miles from the Alamo Dome?
Good Lord.
And
You're by Smoke Shack.
Dude, I was by Smoke. Thank you. You knew that one. Okay. I was over by Smoke Shack, over by Sam's Burger Joint, that area. I walked all the way to there in the cold, had to pee so bad. Dude, I took a leak in some bushes on Broadway Street Saturday night after the game.
Good. Right
next to an apartment complex.
Good.
All they had to do was open up the shades of their apartment. They would have saw my little pecker sitting there peeing in the bushes.
That would have been a good show right there. That would have been a good show.
And so finally I get to a range ride. All I paid was a measly $45 for my Uber ride home. So I want to punch myself for totally underestimating the price and the lengths I would have to walk to get a ride home. Highly unfortunate. That was dumbassery by me. Tonight, I'm going to park my car here at this studio and walk to the Dome and just walk back to my car. I get my steps in, and I'll have my own car. And after tip, dude, I wound up giving that guy $60 the other night for that fucking ride home.
Yes, you paid about the same.
Stupid. So I'm punching myself today for my stupid, ill planning post game on Saturday night. All right. It is Orlando Kell. He is the official family law man. I've been in the building. My man Orlando. If you need a divorce, or someone needs one from you, and you've been hit with papers, call my guy Orlando. He takes all the emotion out of it. It's an emotional time. It's a negative thing, obviously. But in the state of Texas, they don't give a shit about your emotions. When you file for divorce in this state, it's just a business agreement. It's an arbitration hearing is all it is. And Orlando's able to get all that emotion out of it. You can deal with that. He will handle your money. He will handle the arbitration. If you don't have the right defense lawyer or offense lawyer for that matter in a divorce case in this state, you can get effed over big time. It is Orlando Kell. Call Orlando, 210-775-4995. You can also email him directly at orlandokell@gmail.com. Victor's like, why didn't you go to VIA?
You think Mike would be caught dead on a
No, that's
bus?
bullshit. I take the bus all the time in Hawaii. It was the buses stopped running. I did pull up the bus app, and they had stopped running full time, and you just had like the 1 or 2 routes in the overnight. I would have had to wait at the bus stop for 58 minutes to catch a bus. Why would I do that? So I just kept hoofing it up Broadway. Finally found an Uber for $60 later. I got my dumb ass home. That is it. We're done. Thanks, everybody. Rudy should be back tomorrow. Thank y'all very much for watching this one. Please like it. I didn't know that yet. To get yourself into the algorithm, you have to like this thing. So like, share, watch, comment. Thank you to Bouquet. I'll be checking in tonight from the Natty. Back on In the Building in the Morning on Love You Hard TV and Anthem TV and on all our Believe audio platforms like Spotify, Apple, and iHeart, and on down the line. Love you hard. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Go Cougs. I hope I'm wrong about the Gators. Go Cougs.
Anthem TV, a free streaming digital community. With a click of a mouse or a tap on your phone, you have instant access to free TV shows, movies on demand, music, pay-per-view events, and so much more. Download Anthem TV on your smartphone, smart TV, or any streaming device and enjoy instant access. Subscribe and download Anthem TV today.